All right, welcome. This is ZASLOW Show 2.0, a Monday, the 21st of November. Good to have you aboard. Got a big week starting today. We got a big show planned for everybody. Hope you had a nice weekend. And hey, this is a great week, all right? It's a holiday week. It's a short week. Maybe you got work Monday and Tuesday. Maybe your boss sucks and you got to work on Wednesday also. I don't know what kind of boss you have, but either way, it's a short week. It's a holiday week. It's one of everyone's favorite weeks. You get through these couple of days. I'm hoping I'm going to help you get through it as well. However you're listening today, so happy to have you with us. This is the start of week number 4 of ZASLOW Show 2.0 and everything we're doing so far, and we're growing, and it's only possible because of you guys and you sticking with me. Like I told you at the start, when I was let go, and if you were mad and I said, hey, you take all that energy and you just bring it to the next thing that we had planned. I didn't know at the time that, I'm not going to say this was always the grand plan. I didn't know at the time, but as it turns out, I told you, you take that energy and you bring it with you, whatever we're going to do next, and you've come through on your end. So I love you long time. I appreciate it so much. And of course, major thanks to our title sponsor, Anidjar and Levine, accident attorneys. You know what I'm talking about. 800-747-FREE. That's 800-747-3733. Anidjar and Levine, title sponsor of ZASLOW Show 2.0 from day one. Actually, from day 0, before we even got on the air, before this whole thing even started. So I love them. We got some new sponsors as well that are jumping on board today. And we got some new sponsors that are scheduled to jump on board next week as well. So everything is growing. If you want to get involved in the show, you go to my bio at ZASLOW Show on Twitter. You can see the email. You get in touch with me. You go to Instagram. I'm an influencer on Instagram, but you could still easily get in touch with me. I love hearing from you guys. ZASLOWJ on Instagram, at ZASLOW Show on Twitter. You know how to get in touch with me now. All right, so let's get to it here. Hope you had a nice weekend. Hope you had a nice relaxing weekend with no Dolphins football. And I enjoyed the idea of going into the weekend with no Dolphins football because, all right, in the past, you got no Dolphins football over the weekend, excuse me, and you're like, all right, good. I don't have to suffer through another boring, not only Dolphins loss, but another boring Dolphins game. I don't have to sit through it. I don't have to suffer. Well, this weekend it was, all right, team's kicking ass. They've won 4 in a row. Now, I don't believe in the whole bye week coming at a bad time. I don't subscribe to that. I think it's totally cool having the bye week right now, even though they've won 4 in a row. If you're a good team, you're not worried about the bye week screwing up your rhythm. Now, the Dolphins do catch a break where you can get back your rhythm coming up this weekend because you got a terrible Texans team that's coming to town. They're the worst team in football. They only have 1 win. I'm pretty certain they're the only 1-win team. They're 1-8-1. Bad record. Come on. So you got your opportunity here to get back into rhythm. You're a little bit lucky in that regard. But even if it wasn't the Texans who were in town this weekend, if you're a good team, you're not breaking up your rhythm of a 4-game streak and then having to go on the bye, all right? If you're a good team, you're a good team. And you're going to come out the bye rested, fresh, ready to go, and pick right back up where you left off. So as a fan, though, this weekend, all right, take a week off. I missed you, Dolphins. I did. I miss you so much. I haven't missed the Dolphins during the bye week in years. I'm telling you, you're listening to me right now and you're thinking the same thing, right? Wow. I missed the Dolphins this weekend. The last 10, 15 years, there's a bye week. All right, good. Mentally, I need a break from this shit. Not this year. This year, you missed the Dolphins. But going into the weekend, I was cool with it because, all right, we'll take a little bit of a break and we'll get this thing going again next week. I'll just sit around Sunday. I'll enjoy the football. And what do I get? I get punished. You were punished. I was punished. We were all punished because there was no Dolphins football. Our local CBS game here, you had 2 choices, all right? On Fox, you had Giants and Lions. That game sucked. But you want to watch the AFC anyway, and you were punished. You were subjected to Jets Patriots. Oh, what a shitburger the NFL decided to give us. CBS decided to give us this weekend. You got no Dolphin football, so it's like, all right, I'm going to watch these two teams. I'm going to watch Patriots and Jets because it's meaningful for the Dolphins. But this was torture. This was punishment. I don't know what we did wrong. As Dolphin fans, I guess we've been rewarded. We're enjoying the season too much. That when the season has a little bit of a break, now we need to be punished. And it was torturous. And you knew it from the get-go, too. Like, 8 minutes into the game, this is torture. I can't. And by the way, I can't believe we know Mac Jones is one of the worst quarterbacks in the NFL. I can't believe we were subjected to a game that involved Mac Jones, and he was not the worst quarterback in the game. Zach Wilson sucks. There is no other way to put it. Oh my God. Zach Wilson was 9 for 22, 77 yards. That's not an NFL quarterback. And after the game, whoo boy. After the game, when they asked him, very fair question the media's got to ask. You know, the defense played great. Defense only gave up 3 points. Special teams touchdown at the very end. Do you feel like the and the reporter didn't say you specifically. Do you feel the offense let down the defense? No. That was it. That was his answer. One-word answer from Zach Wilson there. Do you feel like the offense let down the defense? No. Hey, number one, you're wrong. Number two, even if you do feel that way, you need to get in front of those people and say, yeah. Say, yeah, we let them down. Or me specifically, you're the quarterback. You are a very high draft pick. You specifically, I let the team down. I need to be better. He was horrendous. And you can easily make the case Zach Wilson is the worst starting quarterback in the NFL right now. The only other one who you think maybe challenges him for that mantle is Mac Jones. We were punished yesterday. If you were a Dolphin fan, you were subjected to the torture that was a 3-3 game until seconds remaining when the Jets decided to not punt it out of bounds. They played scared football. The Patriots take it to the house. First punt return touchdown of the season. Not for the Patriots, of the NFL. That's crazy, right? I did not know that. And so there you go. So the Patriots end up doing the Dolphins a solid, essentially. I sent out a tweet early in the game. Now, I talked about this on Friday, right? I talked about this on Friday where I was trying to figure, all right, who are we rooting for with Patriots and Jets? And I actually said, I think I'm rooting for the Jets because even though that's going to bring them into a tie in first place at 7-3 with the Dolphins, and they own the tiebreaker. They own the tiebreaker right now. There's so much season left. That situation's going to work itself out. I do not believe the Jets are going to hang around at the top of the AFC, so I think they're very fugazi, and especially because their defense is great, but especially when you see the offense, Zach Wilson's not an NFL caliber quarterback, and they play the Jets the last game of the season here in Miami. So I kind of feel like that situation's all going to work itself out, and I was kind of like, I'd rather the Patriots get tagged with a 5th loss and kind of be like, all right, get out of here. You know, go away. That was how I went into it. But I put out the poll, ZASLOW Show 2.0 poll. Great poll question, very controversial. And you guys came out and voted yesterday. Are we rooting for the Patriots or the Jets today? That was the question. And your choices were stupid Patriots or stupid Jets. And 82% of you guys were rooting for stupid Patriots. Ended up getting your wish. So, and you were probably right. I was probably wrong with the way that I looked at it. You were probably right where now the Patriots are 6-4. Yeah, they're right there. And like the AFC is a big hodgepodge. Only division where you have every team at least 2 games over 500. Best division in football. Best division in football. And the Dolphins are the best team. That's crazy. It's not even one of those years where the Dolphins, you know, like the Washington team, they're called the Commanders this season. You know, they win their division at, 8 wins, 9 wins. No, it's not even that one of those cases. The Dolphins lead the division And it's the best division in football. What a year. What a year. We're paying for it, though, with the Heat and Panthers, apparently. Oh, I'm going to get to those disasters. Oh, terrible. Ruin my weekend. But now, because you got the Patriots 6-4, the Jets dropped down. They are 6-4 also. Dolphins and Bills, obviously, 7-3. Dolphins have the tiebreak right now. They're sitting atop the AFC East. So, there you go. And the Dolphins, of course, have the tiebreak over New England right now. So, there you have it. Great day yesterday as far as the standings go, which you almost got a gift if you stayed up for Sunday Night Football. Kansas City, the Dolphins were pretty close. The Dolphins needed Justin Herbert to come through late in the game, and he never does. Now, I got to be fair. Part of it is, Chargers defense sucks. Herbert gave them the lead. Then the Chiefs came back and scored with like a minute and a half left. So Herbert had to do it again. Throws an interception at the very end. So you needed Herbert to his biggest rival. You needed Herbert to do the Dolphins a solid last night and beat the Chiefs, where the Dolphins would have then been first place overall in the AFC, because the tiebreak with Kansas City would have been conference record, and the Dolphins would have had a better conference record. But Herbert could not come through. Now, if I could tell you something right quick, and we're going to have your full NFL rundown coming up in a little bit. But if I could tell you something right quick, the Miami Dolphins have Houston this weekend, all right? Dolphins are 7-3. They got a very easy game this weekend, and then things start to get really hard again. You got the Jets, you got the Patriots. Packers are not good. Okay, fine. But the Dolphins' schedule gets decidedly more difficult after the game this weekend against Houston. Kansas City still sitting atop that AFC. And you look below the Dolphins, Tennessee and Baltimore. Neither one of those. Baltimore struggled with Carolina this weekend. My goodness. And Tennessee, of course, we know what they did on Thursday night. This AFC is a bloodbath. The NFC, you had Philadelphia barely get by Indianapolis. Minnesota got smacked. Getting that number one spot is going to be so huge in the AFC, because it really feels like whoever comes out the AFC is going to win the Super Bowl. Minnesota, can you be a Super Bowl contender? You lose 40-3. For people who've been saying Minnesota's Fugazi, you got a lot of ammunition yesterday, okay? Philadelphia loses last week to Washington. They're called the Commanders this season. And barely gets by Jeff Saturday and the Colts yesterday. A lot of people think they might be Fugazi. This is shaping up to be an unbelievable NFL season. Now, I do want to mention here, all right, coming up this weekend, Dolphins and Texans, new sponsor to the show. I want everybody to welcome Briny Irish Pub. Look, I got my Briny hat here. I'm putting it, here, let me take off the headphones and put it on. Watch this. All right, there you go. Briny Irish Pub right there. That's my new spot this weekend. That's my new spot for Dolphins games. Everybody welcome Briny Irish Pub on board. You can go check it out, brinypubpompano.com. It's on Atlantic Boulevard at the ocean. Hey, where Atlantic Boulevard meets the Atlantic. It's so easy. All right? You get off at Atlantic Boulevard, you go all the way east, you stop when you see the water, you don't want to drive into the water. And right there, you're going to have Briny Irish Pub, brinypubpompano.com. And not just on the weekend, I'm going to be there this weekend for the Dolphins, all right? You come out, watch the Dolphins game with me. That's going to be my spot now the rest of the season for every Dolphin game. I'm already posted up right there. But hey, not just the Dolphin game, they have the NFL Sunday ticket. So whoever your team is, you tell them to put on the game, they're going to have all the games on, all right? Briny Irish Pub is my new spot for Dolphin games. I will be there. I'm not trying to go to the Dolphin game this weekend because I'm at Briny Irish Pub. That's my new spot. Come hang out. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have food. We're talking fish and chips. Shepherd's pie. I love shepherd's pie. That is my favorite. I love shepherd's pie. But we're talking local craft draft. We're talking Irish brews. We're talking your traditional beers. Like I said, NFL Sunday ticket. And during the week, every single night at Briny Irish Pub, you got music, you got live music, you got live bands. Every single night. Briny Irish Pub, world's greatest upscale dive bar where Atlantic meets the Atlantic. There you go. So come on out. Come hang out with me this Sunday. Every Sunday for Dolphin games, I'm going to be at Briny Irish Pub. We're going to have a great time, and I love them. I appreciate them for coming on board. They are officially part of ZASLOW Show 2.0 now. BrinyPubPompano.com. All right, so I told you, we did a little bit of NFL here to start off the show. We obviously got to get to some NBA, some Heat. They had a terrible weekend. Like I said, we'll get back to your NFL rundown. I'll give you a full rundown coming up. A couple quick stories, though, actually, that I want to hit on with the NFL before I move on to the Heat. Obviously, I gave you Pats and Jets, one of the worst viewing experiences of my life. Sunday Night Football last night. We were rooting for the Chargers. Didn't come through. Other interesting things there with the NFL yesterday. It was kind of a weird day yesterday. Like there were some shit games. I mean, Ravens-Panthers was terrible. You thought that the Ravens would would be able to handle the Panthers a little bit easier. You had some surprises like Lions-Giants, the Raiders, Broncos are so bad. Got to be one of the all-time disappointing seasons. The Broncos have now dropped to 3-7, and really weird result, obviously, with Cowboys and Vikings. All right, like I said, we'll circle back to the whole to our NFL rundown. I do want to mention, though, right quick, I gave you Zach Wilson's numbers. Zach Wilson, 9 for 22, 77 yards, took zero accountability, obviously, after the game. When asked whether or not the offense let the team down, just gave a no. Unbelievable. And I know the reports, the locker room was very angry with that whole deal from him, not taking any accountability. He may not be an NFL quarterback. But I will say this. It's his second year in the league. Last year was Tua's second year in the league. If Tua Tagovailoa, in his second year, had the game that Zach Wilson had yesterday, you turn on your television today, you put on Get Up, you put on Keyshawn and Zubin, you put on Undisputed, all these shows. The national analysts would be calling for Tua's expulsion from the NFL. True story. If Tua had the game yesterday that Zach Wilson had in his second year, the national analysts would throw Tua out of the NFL. I don't know where the bias comes from. I don't know. And obviously, if you're not on board with Tua at this point, you're so dug in, you're so entrenched that you're okay with being wrong, which is stupid. If Tua ever had the game that Zach Wilson had yesterday, there would be calls to throw him out of the league. True story. Okay, we'll circle back to that. Do we start with the Heat here, or do we start with the Panthers? All right, let's do the Heat. Yeah. Let's do the Heat. So the Heat have lost 3 in a row. They stink. There's no other way to put it. I mean, yes, they're ravaged by injuries. Jimmy Butler is home now. He went home on Saturday after missing the game the night before, and he's being reevaluated. I don't think it's anything serious. It is what it is. Tyler Hero, he's not with them on the trip. He's not going to finish out the trip tonight. They're in Minnesota. That's likely going to be an L. You want to talk about the Heat's lack of height. Bam returned yesterday, but you want to talk about the Heat's lack of height. Well, now you got Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert, who I think is a total stiff, but he's very big. The Heat are going to get smacked tonight. They're going to lose their 4th game in a row. Like, we were waiting for them to get to 7-7, get back to 500, get this thing going. They're going to lose their 4th game in a row tonight. I'm sorry. I can't. Like, I'm dreading watching this game tonight. Dreading it. It's still going to get big TV, ZASLOW Mansion Family Room, and the NFL tonight, Cardinals, 49ers. It looks like Kyler Murray's out. That's going to get small TV in the ZASLOW Mansion Family Room. But I am dreading that Heat-Minnesota game tonight. They've lost 3 in a row. Last night, they got smacked by the Cavaliers. You're not surprised. Cavs are a good team. Darius Garland, big game. Even Jetty Osman is scoring 20 points against you. Terrible game for Miami. Just never got it going. Well, first quarter, was competitive, but then after that, you're down by 30. So the Heat lose by 26 last night. They dropped to 7-10. They're 11th in the Eastern Conference. 11th. Now overall with the NBA, I love what the standings look like because this is a wacky start to the season. You got a team like Indiana who's 9-6, they're 5th. Washington is 6th in the East. You got Miami who's on the outside looking in. Chicago's on the outside looking in. You look at the Western Conference, best record in the West, Utah Jazz, crazy. You got Sacramento who's 5th in the West. You got the Pelicans who are 8th. Golden State on the outside looking in. Obviously the Lakers, they stink. This is a wacky start to this NBA season. I dig that part. But the Heat, on Friday night as well, were in Washington. Now that's the game that you look at and say, man, we need to steal one of these games. That's one of those. You needed to steal it where you could salvage this road trip. You'd be going into this game tonight at 8-9. You feel a lot better about 8-9 than 7-10. You have the huge game. Friday against Washington, the Heat were up. They were up by, 5, I think, with a minute to go. Yeah, and then you had the Beal layup. The Heat turn it over. Robinson dropped the ball. Orlando Robinson dropped the ball. And then you had Kuzma, who couldn't shoot a beach ball into the ocean, buries a rainbow 3. Game goes to overtime. Lowry couldn't convert. Heat lose in the extra period. They scored just 2 points. Washington scored 3. Kyle Lowry was excellent on Friday. Hey, ZASLOW, give it up for Kyle Lowry. I just did. Kyle Lowry was excellent on Friday night. He had I don't want to talk about last night. Last night is what it is. Team's in bad shape. Injuries. You played a really good team. I don't want to talk about last night. Sorry, I had to sip some of my Gatorade. I'm a little bit hungover this morning. I don't know if you could tell in my voice. So I got Gatorade. Got to get the electrolytes going again in the system. Yeah, I'm hungover this morning. I was drinking last night with my buddy, and because that's what the Heat and the Panthers are doing to me. They're making me drink. So anyway, and you already know this is a bachelor pad this week. My wife's in Italy. I told you about that. If you don't know now, you know. This is a bachelor pad. If there's a sock on the front door, you know to go somewhere else. Anyway, so Lowry was great on Friday night against Washington. And the Heat just couldn't close. And that was one of those games where it's like it was a moral victory. You had 7 guys available. That's it, 7 guys. League minimum is 8. You only had 7. You had to dress an unavailable Gabe Vincent. And that's one of those where you don't want to come out with the moral victory when you're dropping a 7-9. So that's why that one kind of sucks. But that was a valiant effort in DC. And the big plays, 2 big plays of the game. So Orlando Robinson, that's right. We have an Orlando Robinson on the team now. Orlando Robinson, in what was his debut with the team, I believe, right? Had 14.7 rebounds. He was great off the bench. 2 biggest plays in the game, both involved him. He was fouled shooting a 3, I believe Taj Gibson. And you had coaches challenge. They reversed it. I know Crotty and Eric Reed on the broadcast, especially Crotty, they couldn't believe the call was reversed. I thought they got it right. I got to be honest. He got the ball first. You get the ball first, and then you smack the hand. I mean, we saw that with Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry a couple weeks ago. I thought they got the call right. It's unfortunate. Those 3 free throws, when the Heat were ahead, I think they were up by 1 at that point, would have been huge. And the team ran out of gas. Totally ran out of gas. So they're jacking up threes, 43 3-point attempts. Whenever you're shorthanded, which they were, you know they're going to be jacking up threes. That's the great equalizer. If we can hit a bunch of threes, all right, we got a chance here, even though nobody's playing. And the biggest play of the game, though, when the Heat are up by 3 after the Beal layup. The Heat are up by 3. Highsmith drove to the basket. Beautiful pass underneath to Orlando Robinson. Fumbles the ball. Fumbled the ball out of bounds. It would have been an easy dunk, up 5, win the game. And he knew it. Robinson knew it. Great effort from that kid in his debut. Really tough finish for the Heat. I don't want moral victories at this point, but you needed that game. So now they've lost 3 in a row. Tonight's likely going to be 4 in a row. I'm sorry, I can't feel confident about tonight. I don't know what to tell you. I hope that doesn't make you too upset. But I'm so down on the Heat right now. I'm so down on the Panthers right now. Panthers stink too. Panthers have now lost 3 in a row. They're 9-8-1. Now, I went to, yesterday they lost, and Columbus sucks. They lost in Columbus yesterday. Game was tied 2-2 in the third. Panthers wind up losing 5-3. And the afternoon before, Saturday afternoon, my son and I, we went to go see the Panthers take on the Flames. Matthew Tkachuk against his old team, but more importantly, Jonathan Huberdeau. Now, I'm not even going to mention Mackenzie Weegar, because you know what you did, Mackenzie Weegar. Game 2 against Tampa, you know what you did. We're going to see Jonathan Huberdeau. And it was weird seeing Huberdeau in the Flames jersey. But we wanted to go see Jonathan Huberdeau. So me and my younger son, Jordan, he's 11. We love going to Panther games. We've been to 4 games already. How you load that? So we went on Saturday afternoon. They were trailing the whole game. They were down 1-0. They were down 2-1. They were down 3-2. They were down 4-3. Tied the game every time. They wind up losing in the overtime shootout 2-1 in an extra round, went 4 rounds. Huberdeau scored in the shootout for Calgary. He's off to a slow start, by the way, this season. He only has 2 goals and 6 assists. Tkachuk had the game-tying goal on Saturday. He also scored yesterday. He's awesome. And I know, the Panther fan are like, Zazo, what do you think the problem is here? I know a lot of Panther fans, they're busting on Paul Maurice, new defensive system. Our defense sucks. Guys get behind our last defender all the time. You get rushes up the ice. Our defense sucks. I'm not a hockey expert. Even I can see that. But as far as the style of playing, I mean, you knew there was going to be a change in style. All I know is, and again, I love the Panthers. That team is so important to me. I never miss a game. But I don't sit here as some type of hockey expert, as an aficionado when it comes to, all the X's and O's. But what I do know, and they're changing their style right now. This coach is changing the style because the style that he wants to play is what's going to help you win in the playoffs. Not if you miss the playoffs. Not if you miss the playoffs. They're under 500. So the Panthers last year went from the most exciting team in hockey, kicking the shit out of everybody, especially at home, to now every game is a 1-goal game. They're terrible defensively. They won the President's Cup last year, and right now we're a quarter of the way into the season. Not exactly a small sample size. We're a quarter of the way into the year, and they are under 500. Team sucks. Sucks. They stunk yesterday. They lose at Columbus, and they're not good. And the day before against Calgary, Calgary's good, but the day before against Calgary, they're trailing the whole game. And the game before that against Dallas, Panthers went 2-3 on this homestand. They would never lose at home last year. They were 2-3 on the homestand. And the game before that, they lost to Dallas, allowed 6 goals. Bobrovsky got pulled after the first period. Last 3 games, how many goals the Panthers? I mean, I'm going to count 5 on Saturday because they technically won 5-4 with the shootout. But the last 3 games now, the Panthers allowed 16 goals. Defense sucks. Team is not good. It's so frustrating. Because I love that team. I'm so frustrated. At least with the Heat, all right, we got the injury situation. It's really difficult to watch. All right. But with the Panthers, they got everybody except Duclair. I mean, Ekblad missed a little bit of time. Okay. But they got everybody except Duclair. And made a blockbuster trade in the offseason, which I love the trade. And offense isn't really a problem for this team. It's the defense. Team sucks. Now, I do want to say one thing. I don't like being critical of the Panthers for this kind of stuff, but I have to be right here, all right? I'm not talking about on the ice. Here's what I got to be critical of. And I think this is fair, all right? We go to the game on Saturday, and we're specifically going Saturday because we want to see Jonathan Huberdeau. Want to see Huberdeau there with the Flames. Excuse me. Terrible. And we want to be there for whatever tribute they're doing. We want to give him a nice ovation, that kind of deal. And my son's wearing his Huberdeau shirt, so he's into it. All right, fine. I'm explaining to him before the game starts, hey, at some point there's going to be a break in the action. They're going to do a whole tribute. We're going to stand up. We're going to cheer. We're going to clap for Huberdeau. It's going to be very emotional. I got to be perfectly honest. The video tribute that the Panthers did for Jonathan Huberdeau, it was pathetic. I couldn't believe it. It was practically nothing. they played a video, which I think was about 30 seconds long. It was a dual video tribute for Huberdeau and Mackenzie Weegar. And then everyone got up and they clapped. I didn't even notice the video was playing until the video was ending. I didn't hear any announcement. Hey, now, Panthers fans, please direct your attention to the video screen. And now we all look up and you see the tribute. I didn't even notice the video. Now, maybe they did that and I didn't hear it. I don't think so. I didn't notice the video tribute until it was ending. I was like, oh, okay, let's play the video. I did not notice it at all. So my attention was not geared toward the video. I went back and watched the video on Twitter or what have you. This was a pathetic video. It was like 30 seconds. It was a dual video for both Mackenzie Weegar and Jonathan Huber. Oh, Zaslow, what are they supposed to do? You know, they got to honor... Well, first of all, I don't know that they got to honor Mackenzie Weegar. He was here for, 3 years? Huberdeau was here for 10 years. He's the all-time franchise leader in everything. He'd been the heart and soul of the team forever. He's probably the Panthers' all-time greatest player. Pavel Bure wasn't here long enough to be considered in that. I mean, Luongo, yes, his jersey's hanging in the rafters, but you can make the case that Huberdeau is the all-time greatest Florida Panther ever. So does he have to be in the same video with Mackenzie Weegar? No, I don't think so. And here's the way that you actually do it. Well, what do? How do you separate the two? Easily. During one break, please direct your attention to the video monitors. And you got a nice little tribute for Mackenzie Weegar. Okay, we all stand up, we clap, there you go. You don't have to do Huberdeau at the same time. You don't have to. And then after the next break, ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the video monitors. And now you got the Huberdeau tribute, which is twice, 3 times, 4 times as long as whatever you do for Mackenzie Weegar. Because they're not the same. It's not the same. And you give me a video that's 2-3 minutes long. You know, this video, you're doing a dual video with Huberdeau and Mackenzie Weegar. Give me Huberdeau scoring his first goal ever, which I think they did show Huberdeau scoring his first goal ever. Give me Goldie on the call. Let me hear Goldie yelling about Huberdeau getting his first ever goal. Give me Huberdeau scoring in the postseason. Give me some of Huberdeau after the Panthers won a playoff series last year. Give me a soundbite there. Give me Roberto Luongo on the screen talking about what Huberdeau means to the franchise. Give me Aaron Ekblad on the screen talking about what Huberdeau means to the franchise. Give me Sasha Barkov telling me what Huberdeau means, his friendship and playing with him his whole career and what he means to the franchise. Give me Goldie screaming in the background, hoopy-dooby-doo. I didn't get any of that. I couldn't believe. I don't feel good about killing the Panthers in this regard, but how is that an acceptable video tribute for Huberdeau? I don't get it. I was so disappointed. That's it. That's all we got for Huberdeau. He couldn't even get his own video. Give me some play-by-play of Goldie and Moeller in the background. Give me some of Doug Plagans getting excited about a huge goal from Huberdeau. Give me some of player audio. Give me the guys talking about him. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. It was really disappointing. And I don't know, what did the Panthers do when Roberto Luongo returned? You know, it was with Vancouver. I'm talking many years ago. You know, what did they do when Luongo returned? Or, you know, what did they do when Stephen Weiss returned? I don't know. I don't remember. But Huberdeau, he's the franchise all-time leader in everything. And he's in the same video packet. He's not in the same package as Mackenzie Weegar. There's no reason for it. It doesn't make any sense. You could do those separate. I mean, it was really weird. I thought it was real. Well, I don't know. Weird's not even the right thing. It was just, you know, you're screaming to the video team, hey, can we throw something together right quick? Huberdeau's returning today. That was really disappointing.